All right, what's going on, guys? Jason here with Elite Floor Care. Today we're going to be doing a hardwood screening and recoating for a client of ours. And as you guys can see, these floors are in terrible condition. These were a great candidate for a screen and recoat. They really could use a full sand and refinish. We already explained the differences to my client, the amount of money that he would save in doing a screen and recoat. And with it being a rental property, he is aware that they're not going to be taking care of the floors the way that he would be taking care of them. So we recommended going with a screen and recoat since it is going to save him thousands more, and the downtime, this is going to be completed in 1 day. So guys, upon entry, you can see, guys, these floors are in terrible condition. A lot of paint over spray. That wasn't in the original estimate whenever we came by to give an estimate, so we had to actually increase the price a little bit to get that paint over spray off. But guys, look how terrible of condition these floors are in. A lot of this right here, this water damage, this is not gonna come up. We've already made our client aware of that this is a screening. A full sand and refinish would be needed, and actually those boards would probably need to be fully replaced. All of these in here, that's just a lot of water damage that's irreversible without a full replacement. But you guys can see a lot of paint overspray in here. These floors are just very dull, very worn out. There's no protective layer on these floors at all. The polyurethane is completely worn off. So what we're going to be doing, getting this paint overspray, cleaning the floors very well. We're going to do an aggressive screening to scuff up the surface. We're going to be doing some color correction, pushing a little bit of stain in here, tinting the poly to give those floors a little bit more contrast and get them looking good for a client. And you guys can see these painters just absolutely did not care. And guys, for painters, anyone out here watching the channel that's a painter, guys, take a little bit more pride in your work than this. This is actually costing my client a couple $100 more just for us to get this off. He was not happy about that. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna quit talking. Let's jump straight into it. All right, guys, as always, the first thing that we're gonna do is go ahead and pre-vacuum. We wanna get all the dirt, debris, any screws or nails that might be in the floor that could cause further damage. We wanna make sure that we go ahead and pre-vacuum. And you guys can see right here just how much better they look with a pre-vacuuming. So you can imagine what it's gonna look like once we actually get the screening done. Following this, what we're gonna do is go ahead and actually screen the floors. We're braiding them, as you can see in this. You guys can see all that white powder that's coming off of there. It's actually a little bit more yellowish is the old top coat coming off the floors. We had to go over these floors multiple times because of how bad they were. Once we get through with that process, we're gonna vacuum that up again before we get ready to clean and prep, which is our last step before we actually roll the polyurethane on these floors. And guys, this video is a little bit longer, but stay tuned. It is gonna be worth it for the after results. All right, guys, so we've got these floors screened down. We already went over them one time. We did a very aggressive screening to knock off a lot of that top coat. There was a lot of dulled, worn out areas. You guys remember how bad that area was. Knock those down. Don't worry, guys. I know the floors look really bad right now. They look maybe even worse. But guys, we're gonna be pushing stain back in, tinting the poly, guys, and these floors are gonna look incredible. So that's what we've got done. We went ahead and swept. Now what we're gonna go through is all along the edges right here where the painter's overspray. We're gonna go ahead and knock that off, smooth the floors out. We're gonna go over it one more time since we did an aggressive screening. Gonna screen it one more time to smooth it out so it is ready to accept stain. Guys, I can't wait for you guys to see the after because I think these floors, the before and after is just gonna be stunning. All right, again, we have to screen these floors a second time since we are going to be tinting the poly a little bit. So you want to make sure they're fully smooth out, ready to accept a little bit of a color change to the floors. So you can see we're actually running horizontally and vertically on these to ensure that they are completely smoothed out, ready for that stain. And guys, the difference that it makes taking that time to make sure it's a quality job shows in the after. A quick update, guys. We went ahead and did that second screening. Again, there was a lot of paint overspray from these unprofessional painters that came in here. So what I've done is mixed up a solution that's actually gonna help that paint come off of the floor, kind of help loosen it before I come through, scrub it off. You guys can see this solution makes it a lot easier for us to scrub this off. It kind of just scrubs right off the floor, but we're gonna have to come back through and clean these floors as well. Just because of how dirty these floors were, I want to make sure there's nothing interfering with the adhesion of this new top coat. So we want to make sure the floors are as clean as they can. So we're actually going to be doing that today. We don't always do that, but with floors in this bad a condition, how dirty they were, how neglected they were, and how much we've had to do, we are going to go ahead and do a clean on these floors as well before we do any color correcting, before we put a new top coat on. So anyway, guys, that's what we're doing now, getting rid of the paint. Guys, I know this video has probably been a little bit longer than any of my other videos, but the after results for this are gonna be 100% worth it, guys. These are gonna be night and day better than they were. You guys remember those dark spots right there? We sanded those out as much as we can. We're gonna do some color correction, and guys, I'm telling you, these floors are gonna pop. My clients are gonna be happy, and I think you guys are gonna be very impressed. All right, guys, so I went ahead and skipped over a lot of stuff just because we have a lot to do today. This job turned out to be a lot bigger than anticipated with the paint removal. These floors were in terrible condition, so I've had to kind of speed up the process a little bit. So we already got it screened. So what I've done to add a little bit of color and contrast back to these floors, I went ahead and tinted the polyurethane with an additive to give it a little bit more ambered, oiled look to the floors. And you guys can see where we've stopped and what we've not done. So we've not done this. We have done that, and the difference that it makes, guys. Let me just show you real quick. Just do a little roll. I mean, look how much more contrast these floors have and how much better they look, guys. So that's what we're doing now. We're gonna go ahead and get this first coat rolled and then come back in 2 hours and roll the second coat. Talk about a difference, guys. Look at the difference between these floors since we put that additive in there. Gave it a little bit more of an oil modified look to these floors, guys, and I think that was the perfect thing to add to give these floors that rich, warm look. As always, stay tuned to the end of the video. If you guys look in the comment section, you can find a lot of the tools that we use for our day-to-day. We get asked all the time. So if you look in that comment section, it'll actually have links that'll take you to some of the products we use. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here is the big grand reveal. I am very, very pleased with these floors and how they turned out. And again, guys, this is a screen and recoat. These dark areas that you see are not addressed with a screen and recoat. A screen and recoat is addressing minor scratches, imperfections in the floor, as well as giving it a new top coat. These floors had no top coat left. So again, areas like this, unless you do a full sand and refinish, with the exception of these two areas, you'd have to actually replace a lot of these boards. So the screen and recoat does not address any stained areas, nor does the sanding. You'd have to fully replace that. You guys just remember how bad all the paint oversprayed. There was no finish on these floors, guys. Look how clean that finish looks. They actually have a protective top coat on them now. They look incredible. Let me show you guys the rest. You guys remember how bad it was throughout here. There was a lot of dirt on these floors, a lot of imperfections, and a lot of scratches in the finish. And the finish had basically diminished off anyway. But guys, these floors look night and day better. The floors look a lot warmer. They have a lot more contrast now. Our client was very pleased. They came by, took a look at it today. They were very happy with it. We're very happy with it. Another job well done. And again, guys, all we can do is educate our clients on what they need to do to make their floors look better with this particular job, since it was going to be a rental property in East Knoxville. You know, he didn't really want to expense thousands more to get them fully sanded or refinished when you're just going to have somebody in here that's not going to take care of them. But guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this. If you look in the comment section, you can see we always include links of products that we use, a lot of the products that we use every day, tools, things like that. You can check in the comment section. It'll show you where to get those. Had somebody the other day asking me about training for this stuff. Stay tuned, that is coming in the future. Gonna have a full YouTube. It's gonna be a private channel, as well as a group dedicated to learning services like this. Anyway, guys, as always, I will see you in the next one.